Disney's California Adventure has a brand new land called San Fransokyo. In that, they've remodeled a famous California landmark into something resembling the landscape from Big Hero 6. Even though it's just open, we're already seeing signs of deterioration. It's reportedly fixed, but we've had a man on the street that seems to think otherwise. Let's go through the story here on That Park Place. Hello, everyone. I'm Jonas J. Campbell, and here with me, as always, is my Wookiee co-pilot, Vash Sky. How you doing, buddy?
Well, that's exactly what I would have said if I could actually say it. But I am doing quite well. I actually got back from Disney California Adventure, Disneyland, the Anaheim area, right? And I had an astounding number of things to report on when it comes to some of their haunt events out there and Oogie Boogie Bash and all that. But I couldn't help myself. I had to go over to this new San Fransokyo area and see it for myself and see if this bridge really was fixed, as some are claiming.
So let's give some people some context here. Let's put us here on the bottom of this right now. Okay, this is the bridge as it was first reported by WDWNT. Then the article by Brit. Nice to meet you, Brit. Here we are looking at. It appears like it's a little crack there in the San Fransokyo Bridge. There are close-ups as well. As you can see, this is visible from a guest area. The bridge has been redone. It looks like it's done in plastic. There are other issues that people are pointing out. There's an even bigger look at the crack, and we also see over here. This is also an opening in the plastic, but it appears to be done by design as opposed to by accident. So I suppose we're going to look for that to be repaired. We're seeing a lot of dirt built up here. I wouldn't necessarily expect cleaning crews to get down there. Even closer look there. Man, that does not look good. We're seeing holes here that look like they are meant for some kind of fastener, probably a screw, maybe a rivet. I don't know. But we see one of those fasteners here. We see a fastener has popped off. These are all the old signs that this bridge needs repairs. There's the opposite pillar, and it has yet another opening. They fixed it, as many of my friends who don't know how to fix things would fix it. There's been a lot of commentary on this land in particular. Because it's an IP land, and obviously IPs are very controversial at Disney. They've transitioned away. We've covered the idea here that they're going to get away from doing IPs like Figment and Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm not saying they're getting rid of those, but the process that would have created those in the past, they aren't going to be doing anything that isn't already existing or based in a movie.
Correct.
Or a television series that they own, because they have so much IP and they want to get that burst of IP energy. Anyways, you can go check out our other videos on that. Whether or not people realize it, the Torii Gate Bridge was repaired in San Fransokyo Square at Disney's California Adventure. As you can see, it's now fixed. So I will say there have been some repairs made, but what did you see with your keen eye?
Yes, with the keen eye here, if you want to go ahead and share my screen here, I took some photos so that other people could maybe see what I saw. And you can see here from from a distance shot here, everything looks pretty decent just off the bat, right? No egregious signs, as we can see. I will say, even talking to Scott Guston recently, we were all kind of in agreement that at least the lighting package was a little bit maybe lacking, right? These lights kind of look temporarily strung up, and they don't quite evoke the guide wires that you normally associate with either the Golden Gate Bridge or, in this case, the San Fransokyo Bridge from Big Hero 6. But as we look a little bit closer, you can see right there that little patch that you were talking about. Well, it is still present. Let me see if I can zoom in on this right there. You can see that right there. That little patch still there. Now, also
on that previous photo, is that warping on go one back? Is that warping, or is that the sunlight over there on that right there?
I believe it's just the sunlight and some glare, but these pieces aren't fabricated, I would say, perfectly. So they do create some interesting patterns and reflections when the sun is actually beaming down on it. You You can see right there, there is some dirt left over. And these bases, these concrete bases, it's interesting. When I was talking to the theme park wizard about this, he was like, why aren't these concrete bases the same color as the bridge? And interestingly, if you look at the concept art that was released of this bridge, you could actually see that the concrete bases were supposed to be of a similar color to the bridge itself. Also, too, you can see that the cross members on this bridge were actually supposed to be 4 originally and not 3, as they eventually opened with, which kind of distorts and creates a different silhouette or look for the bridge that I don't think is great. I'll put it that way. But you can see here, this dirt that you were talking about, it actually runs the length of the bridge. You can see in some places they actually just painted over that dirt. So the paint that they applied can't necessarily adhere the best in various areas. And again, this is a rather kind of, I would say, value-oriented way to do this, right? They didn't redesign the bridge. They just took the existing bridge that used to exist out there for the Pacific Wharf area, the area that was previously known before it became Big Hero 6 themed, and they just took that bridge and then put these towers around it and painted it all this kind of Golden Gate orange here.
Wait, so can I ask you then, which Six Flags park is this at?
Exactly, right? You would have expected this to be at a Six Flags park. And yet, no, it is at a park where people are paying well over $150 per day to actually enter.
Yeah. Here, let me show this concept art. And of course, it is concept art. But as we can see here, there are 4 cross beams creating this cascading effect going
Correct.
up. If you go to Epcot and you go to the China Pavilion, and of course, this is San Fransokyo. It is not based on Japan. And you'll see similar things in Japan as well, though. This cascading effect in the architecture is very important. And in order to have a cascading effect, you have to have multiple layers. Right. I'm hoping that someone argued for 4 cross beams, but I would think that either for speed or for budget, that is probably why they got rid of these cross beams. And I'm hoping that maybe somewhere down the road, they will come back and fix this. Going back to your imagery here,
you can see there's only 3 crossbeams.
Yeah. Does it look like there's space to add more crossbeams in there? I think maybe one more.
Absolutely, it does. The skeleton that was erected for this, to retrofit that would be a little. I would say a little bit tricky, but I can very well see that 4 crossbeams could have been present in this design. The fact that it was excluded. I really don't know what to tell anybody. It's just a bizarre choice in my opinion, and like I said, it completely changes that amazing silhouette that is so distinctive as part of not just Japanese culture, but also San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge architecture.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's several videos in a row. We're not trying to give the Disney company a hard time when we do this, unless that hard time leads to them knowing that people notice when you cut corners.
Right.
We would like to see things change at the Walt Disney Company, and I get it. You guys are in a transitionary period. Unfortunately, that transitionary period is probably going back to at least 2017. At this point, the Epcot walls are still not all the way down. There's been construction walls at Epcot for 6 years. This land, it's just a brand new land at California Adventure, which I know I said the Six Flags thing. I feel a little bad about it, but at the same time, it does look like it belongs in a budget theme park. That specific park. The theming is underwhelming. I don't want to be a snob when I say this, but Disney, if you are going to be the premium in the space and people are going to pay premium prices, which they definitely are, during the Chapek era, he got your ticket prices as high as they could possibly go. And you're not going to bring people, if you're only going to deteriorate from here, then your numbers are probably also going to deteriorate from here.
Correct. And I think what makes this even more egregious when you think about the history of this park specifically, this park did feature a Golden Gate Bridge at the entrance of this park, and it was done with if I could even say this out loud, it's kind of crazy to say this in 2023, but that was done to a higher standard of quality than what the Imagineers presented here in this current year. That was over 20 years ago when this park opened in February 2001. And I think people remember correctly that this park wasn't exactly looked at fondly by fans, and yet we're getting quality that is exceeded by the previous.
So you're saying that
of this bridge.
Even though people said it was not not the quality standard that Disney was supposed to live up to, which that's debatable, of course, and
right,
we respect the Imagineers and the work they are trying to do here. But if you're saying that people perceived it as less than Disney quality then, and we are now saying it's not even living up to that standard now, I would say that says something about the Walt Disney Company and the current standards that they're living with.
Absolutely. And, you mentioned it before, too. That standard can be seen in various aspects of the Walt Disney Company, right? Why does it take 6 years to do the front of Epcot? Why does it take 5 years to build Tron? Why does it take 2 years to redo a treehouse, right? And then you look at the opposite side of that equation. You look at the villas at Disneyland Hotel. That one was... we just did a video on it, interestingly enough, but that project was fast-tracked. We're seeing the Polynesian Village expansion. That's going to be a fast-track property. And it becomes very apparent that Disney is prioritizing the things that make them money over the things that, people actually book vacations for, and that's very disheartening to see.
And I'll add to that, if you guys have not seen that video, we got to a point where it looked like it was still under construction. It looked like it. If I had seen that and we were if we were a week out, that would be the thing I would go to the construction manager and say, and yes, these pipes and wires will be covered up before you. Anyways, we don't need to get into that. I'm just going to say, go check out that video. I was shocked at the amount of money being charged. Galactic Star Cruiser levels of charging of guests for this experience. And an Embassy Suites level of quality as far as finished product goes.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Vash, for this deep dive and for your reporting. Excellent job on that. To our audience, do you have any comments that you want to offer on this? Please leave them in the section down below. There are handles above us, and there are links in the description. Check those out. Like this video if you like this video. Share it out on social media if you want to get the word out. Of course, if you would subscribe, we would be honored. Thank you very much for staying tuned to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com for all the news that should be fun. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.